what some of the content was in the books. I mean, explicit, graphic, sexual content. And I'm happy to talk about some of that content if you'd like to.
Well, this is the question again. The books that are being banned, I want to give you just
no books are being banned.
No, hold on a second.
Well, no, Joy, but I want to be clear. No one's banning books. Write the book, print the book, publish the book, put the book in the public library, sell the book, right? We're talking about a public school library. Children don't have unfettered access to the internet at school. I did a FOIA records request, and I wanted to see what kinds of internet sites are banned in schools, if we're going to talk about banning, right? And the subject matter in the books that moms are concerned about are the same things that kids don't have access to on the internet. So it just feels very hypocritical, right? No, why is no one out there protesting for, you know, free the internet in schools?
Let me give you.
What's going on, everyone? Sauce King here today, and we're going to be talking about something very dear and near to my heart, which is our public school education. As you guys know, I'm a father of two children, and this is a big concern for me as a parent, and as you guys already seen, that I kind of want to use this moment to kind of expose the hypocrisy of the left and many of this leftists, that they want to pick and choose when their arguments want to apply. Amazon to stop selling books that frame LGBTQ identities as mental illness, right? They talking about, hey, conservatives want to ban books. Conservatives want to ban books. But you're banning books. You don't even allow the Bible, I don't think, to be allowed in public libraries. But you're allowing explicit sexual content that you access restrict on the internet. But for some reason, if it comes in book form, that's permissible, right? It's almost like they want these kids to stumble into these ideas, right? Instead of creating an idealistic, neutral classroom, that a lot of the reasons why the Bible was removed out of schools was because that was the excuse that the left used. Oh, we want a neutral classroom. How is this not neutral? Right? And then when I point an example, oh, you guys wanted Amazon to ban books that when it's something you care about, yeah, you want the books banned, right? Amazon staff members demand books that call transgender people mentally ill, right? Essentially, what Moms for Liberty is doing is essentially the same thing that people on the left do. They voice their opposition, they voice their concerns about something, and corporations ban books. Literally, conservatives are doing the exact same thing you guys are doing, and all of a sudden it's a problem. See, this is why a lot of conservatives are done placating to you guys anymore. This is why conservatives no longer care what you guys think anymore. Because look at the hypocrisy. Rules for thee, but not for me, huh? Oh, you're allowed to advocate for whatever you want to advocate, but the minute I advocate for something that I care about, I got valid concerns for it, now it's a problem. Now you're trying to restrict what people are exposed to. When conservatives have more kids than liberals, right? This future is conservative, apparently, because most kids are going to be raised by conservative parents. Yet the concerns of these people are not taken seriously by the people who run the schools. How, Sway? Make it make sense. Oh, well, you're restricting liberals from having access to the books. Okay, you go buy the book. The same way that a Christian conservative parent buy books and say, hey, I buy the Bible at our house. We study the Bible. We do this with the Bible. You can literally do the same thing with Not All Boys Are Blue. You can buy the book, read the book to your kids, but this in lies the problem. They're not allowed to do plausible deniability when you do it. When you buy a book, that's intentional. You're showing your intentions, and it opens you up to criticism. And I think that's what the left don't like. So the left like, oh, it's just in schools. It's supposed to be used for education. Look at this clip that I'm about to show you how bigoted the left really is. That they want to get mad when parents are concerned about sexually explicit content being exposed to their kids, and it doesn't matter the form. We condemn it in all forms. But for some reason, they're like, oh, yeah, in New York, kids are not reading at grade level. But what matters the most is that we got transgender story hour. Let's look at the clip.
You could have come inside and listened.
Trust me, there will be some people inside who will be, quote unquote, listening.
Well, I'm glad that you have people coming inside. And when they come back out and they tell you how we talked about the fact that the majority of kids in New York are not learning to read.
So let me tell you something, Moms.
Are you
for
concerned
Liberty.
about the fact that a lot of kids in New York aren't learning how to read?
Absolutely, and the best way for them to read is to read. And for
Let me ask
example,
you a question.
Drag Story Hour is a fabulous way to learn how to read.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
How much money do you think is spent every year on a public school student's education in New York?
Probably about $30,000.
$40,000.
Okay, so I wasn't too far off.
And don't you think that's a lot of money?
No, I think that there's
To not have kids learning how to read?
So, this is what I'll tell you, is that Moms for Liberty is part of a long-standing tradition of white women's groups trying to protect the sanctity of white children's lives. It goes back to the Klan, it goes back to Reconstruction, of trying to segregate schools, of trying to ban books, and we know who you are and we follow you. And we're out here to say
We're going to live stream the event
York,
tonight. We're going to live stream the event tonight. I hope that you watch it.
Hate.
You see, now you heard that. All these people have is narrative. They try to cast you as, oh, you're a bigot, or you're a racist, oh, you hate people. No one hates nobody, right? It's just, hey, we want an idealistically neutral classroom, right? Isn't that what you push for? Isn't that why we took religion out of the classroom? We don't want to have these hard debates in the classroom, but in the same breath, you're pushing something with a religious-like fervor into classrooms. It shows you the reality how the left really look at the education system. They don't look at the education system as a means of educating people on ideas and the world. They see education as a means of instilling and passing on values to children, right? What a famous socialist once said, socialists don't have kids, they have yours. This is an example of this. Liberals have less kids than conservatives, but they want to be able to dictate what is taught in classrooms unilaterally. Like they're the only ones that they can define what's permissible in schools and what's not. What's permissible to be sold by private businesses and what's not. Yeah, but then they want to pretend that, oh no, we're the party of free speech. We believe a book should be accessible to all all children. Okay, let's put the Bible back in school then. Oh, you're gonna hear a lot of pushback for that. Oh, let's teach different contrary opinions about gayness. Is gayness really inherent? Show us the gay gene. Oh, you're going to get canceled for saying that. And then here's another clip. And this is I'm not so sure about this clip. That's why I left it more towards the end of the video. YouTube, please don't censor me. Please don't deboost my video. This is merely to show a contrast of how many people on the left, many of these people try to mask and hide the concrete reality of the things that they're actually pushing in classrooms. And the lady is merely highlighting, requiring context for how these keywords are permissible in books that are supposed to be catered to public school children. This is the point of the clip, YouTube. Please do not censor me. Let's take a look at the clip.
You can do keyword searches and find certain keywords.
Like rape?
You can find sure.
Or anal rape or dildo.
You can find all sorts of
types
keywords.
Of words. But like,
wait, hold on. Wait. Let me finish my question.
Okay,
Then
great,
you can answer.
sure.
I'm going to give you time to answer, but I got to ask you first.
No, yeah, I got the question.
And so what you find is the keywords that you find, the N-word, anything, words like you just used, then you'll get out of context passages from the book. And then based on that, Moms for Liberty members are going to places like Broward County School Board meetings, reading out of context passages from these books, and then demanding that the school board remove them.
So what's the question?
That is the way.
Yeah.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so
Sure.
I'm going to answer
Please
for
do.
you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No, we're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me questions.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she ever answered the question, but it's just unbelievable. Like if I go on Twitter right now, right? Joy Reid is truly unbelievable, right? Like imagine what context do you require for that stuff, right? And it's a common tactic of the left. Like they can't defend their argument, so they try to smear you. They try to say that you're closed-minded, you don't like new ideas. Like at least when the conservatives critique something, they read it, right? You may not like how they interpret it, but they read it and they say, hey, look, this is what I have an issue with. Instead of having a mature discussion about this stuff, hey, is this necessary? Is this really reading material that young children should be exposed to at an early age? Because to me, This is a perverted way of sexualizing children. This is why I say I don't believe in gay children. I don't believe in LGBTQ children, because these things are not something that children comes natural to children. It's something that children have to be exposed to, right? And in some ways, it feels like this is a way of traumatizing children, right? We will say, hey, if you let your 6-year-old son read porn, people will condemn it wholeheartedly. But for some reason, if that porn is wrapped up in virtue signaling about, oh, we understand LGBTQ and all this stuff, it's permissible in schools, huh? My main problem with the Rainbow Brigade, the Rainbow Bullies, is that they make their sexuality their entire identity. Just like some black people make their race their entire identity, gay people and LGBTQ people are making their sexuality their entire identity. This is why a lot of their books that are themed towards LGBTQ are highly sexualized. Because you can't be gay or transgender or none of that until you're in some cases sexual. And young kids are not capable of that at that early age. But it seems like we're trying to force, this is why a lot of moms have concerns over this material, especially my wife. Because it seems like the goal here is to rob children of their innocence. And no one can really, you can make a case, but I don't think you'll have a hard time defending a lot of this LGBTQ stuff and not seeing the debauchery that it's trying to portray in our culture. I think this is what's her name? Tiffany Justice. She did an amazing job articulating herself, presenting herself in a good manner in that case. And I don't know how in anyone's right mind can defend this stuff. And the stuff with the slips, that doesn't work. Right? Because at the end of the day, kids are unsupervised. At the end of the day, if a teacher wanted to teach the kids about not all boys are blue, she could be like, oh, I just took it out of the library and I showed it. So it's permissible material to teach to the classroom. Or it's permissible reading material for the kids to do a literature homework on. So the permission slip don't really do anything. It's just like, hey, protest the way we want you to protest. It's a means of controlling conservatives. And in a way, I just say, hey, look, conservatives just be like the liberals. Like, one thing we can learn about the liberals is be unapologetically liberal. Let's be unapologetically conservative. We liberals believe everyone should be a liberal. Conservatives should believe that everyone should be a conservative. And force them to meet us in the middle. Because if they're allowed to ban books, they're allowed to force private companies. This is why I love my Amazon example. They petition private companies, because remember the left, private companies can do whatever they want. If they want to sell a book that gives a counter narrative about LGBTQ communities, they should. You never hear a liberal make that argument. But in public school, something where all of society should have a say on what is taught in school and what shouldn't be taught in school. Everyone in society has a right, because it's publicly funded. We all fund it through our tax dollars. Therefore, we all have a say in it. For some reason, the left is like, oh, no, yo, you can't ban books. It's wrong. If banning books is inherently wrong, either you apply the standard unilaterally or you don't apply it at all. That's the only thing I'm asking as a conservative parent. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree? Disagree? Let me hear your thoughts about your perspective about the story, Moms for Liberty, Joy Reid defending this crud. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.